critical 0 days, sophisticated phishing kits, and a direct hit on the semiconductor supply chain. I'm Aaron Cole, and this is Prime Cyber Insights. We are moving fast today because the threat landscape is not waiting for anyone to catch up. From Google to Apple, the patches are non-negotiable right now.
I'm Lauren Mitchell. We're looking at a week where the complexity of attacks has jumped significantly, targeting everything from individual browsers to the industrial control systems powering our infrastructure. Joining us today is Chad Thompson, a director-level AI and security leader with a systems-level perspective on automation, enterprise risk, and operational resilience. Chad, welcome.
Thanks, Lauren. Good to be here. We're seeing a really interesting intersection right now between classic vulnerabilities like use-after-free memory errors in Chrome and highly automated commercial-grade tools like the Starkiller Platform. It's an environment where the basics of security are being tested by industrial-scale automation.
Let's dive right into that urgency, Lauren. Google just issued an emergency update for CVE 2026-2441. It is the first Chrome 0 day of 2026, and Google confirms it's already being exploited in the wild. This isn't just a bug. Experts say the trigger surface is almost absolute. If you visit a malicious page, you're at risk.
Right, and it's not just Chrome, Aaron. Apple just fixed CVE 2026-20700, a flaw in the dynamic link editor that impacts everything from iPhones to MacBooks. Google's threat analysis group linked this to an extremely sophisticated attack. When you pair these exploits with the new Starkiller phishing kit, which uses live-proxying to bypass MFA in real time, the perimeter looks more porous than ever.
The Starkiller development is what worries me from a risk perspective. Because it proxies real login pages live, there's no stable fingerprint for defenders to block. It makes the victim experience indistinguishable from a real login. For an enterprise, this means your MFA isn't a silver bullet anymore. It's a hurdle that attackers have already figured out how to clear.
That evolution is showing up in the hardware sector too. You know, Advantest, the Japanese giant that tests chips for Intel, Samsung, and TSMC, was hit by ransomware on February 15th. They've activated incident response, but we don't know the full extent of the data theft yet. This follows a record year in 2025 where industrial control system advisories topped 500 for the first time.
Aaron, the FBI warning at Cyber Talks really contextualizes this. Michael McDinger highlighted that Salt Typhoon, the Chinese group that hit U.S. telecoms in 2024, is still very much active. They aren't always using fancy 0 days for their entry. They're exploiting basic configuration errors and known CVEs. It's a reminder that sophisticated actors love simple mistakes.
Exactly, Lauren. The systems-level failure here is often a lack of hygiene. Whether it's the Advantest intrusion or Salt Typhoon's persistence across 80 countries, the vulnerability management lifecycle is clearly struggling. Only 22% of ICS vulnerabilities in 2025 had a CISA advisory, which means the visibility gap for OT security is actually widening while the threats increase.
And the data leaks are scaling up too. We've seen over 1 billion records exposed through an AI-powered identity service and a separate leak from an Android AI art app. Plus, the fintech figure just confirmed a breach of nearly 1 million records after a social engineering attack involving voice phishing and an Okta campaign. It's a total bombardment of the identity layer.
It even extends to the tools we use to build. A supply chain attack on the Cline AI coding tool used a prompt injection vulnerability in their GitHub workflow to inject a persistent daemon called OpenClaw into 4000 systems. It shows that even the AI automation meant to help us is becoming a vector for persistence.
The message today is clear. Patch Chrome and Apple immediately and revisit those basic configurations the FBI is shouting about. I'm Aaron Cole. Thanks for listening to Prime Cyber Insights.
And I'm Lauren Mitchell. Stay resilient, stay updated, and check out pci.neuralnewscast.com for more. We'll see you next time. Neural Newscast is AI-assisted, human-reviewed. View our AI transparency policy at neuralnewscast.com.